What's happening, everybody? Brett here, and we are back today, and this time we're going to knock out the Rotten Forest. So I haven't played any since the last time I attempted it. If you remember right in the last episode, we died on the boss. We just couldn't focus him down, and so many trees. And I sat around kind of thinking about how we could have done that better, and I think I have a pretty good idea. We went with Thor last time, and I think Thor was an excellent choice. I'm honestly debating using him again. I think this time let's take Oni just for a little bit of difference. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. We want someone with high armor who's going to be able to stand up to the boss when he does show up. So I'm looking at either Hacksaw, Oni, Thor, or even Sir Gerald Lightseeker as potential guys. But because I haven't gotten a chance to play with Oni as much as I'd like to, and the series is coming to an end, really trying to push through this and get to Kingdom Rush Frontiers, which is certainly my favorite of the trilogy. So, but without any further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump back into Rotten Forest, and I'm going to see if I can't implement some of the changes that I was thinking of. So what I think I ended up doing, perhaps wrong, the last time I played this, was I'm not going to say I leaned heavily on, but I made use of barracks, right? And in these higher tier maps, it kind of punishes barracks use. So I think we almost need to, and I mentioned in the last episode too that one of my least favorite things is to kind of cheese a certain strategy, to go, mass the most OP towers you can get. And I think, in all honesty, that's just something you kind of have to do in these later levels. So at some point here, we're going to keep up a basic barracks here, and then at some point we're going to sell it, and we might end up making just tons of dwarven bombards and upgrading them in this back position. And we're still going to want ranger towers. Are going to be very important. We went heavy with the musketeers in our last playthrough, and I thought they would be more effective. I kind of remembered using them the first time I ever played this map, and getting just tons of snipes and just getting massive amounts of damage that way, while their AoE shotgun blasts were able to clear the field for us. But that just wasn't working out as well as I remembered. So I think AoE is kind of the key here. We're going to have to, at some point, somewhat recognize the danger of the trees that kind of swarm us on the final level. And we're going to need someone like Oni with high HP pool and high armor to get us through there. And we certainly want him to level as quickly as possible. He's already up to level 3. It's taking forever to kill one of these little husk guys. We're essentially like zombies. Still think this is an excellent place for a mage tower. And I think we had a good tower here. An archer tower. Let's call them early. And Oni's probably really good at killing these spiders. Let's send him up here. I want to make sure he's getting his attacks, using his abilities, and getting levels. Let's put him up a little higher. And we want to get to a Tesla tower ASAP at this point. But we do have air incoming next. Let's call early, and if we need to go ahead and drop some fire, we can certainly do that. Let's drop some fire, try to quickly get our Tesla tower in order, and there we go. So just in time for air. And our reinforcements on the ground are going to clean that up for us. And every time we get the chance to call early, we need to do that. And I think this is going to be another Dwarven Bombard position. So at least 3 in the back here. And we had a Barbarian and a Paladin unit here. Which, I mean, I still think it's a solid strategy. If I had, you know, an infinite amount of time to do this and make videos for you guys, I would certainly play around with it, because I did think it was quite a strong synergy in this position. But it may just be one of those cases where we just need to go ahead and kind of cheese the map, spam out perhaps arcane towers. Let's start upgrading this. Summon early. And we will certainly look to get overcharge at some point. I think this is going to be kind of another key position. A ranger tower here and a ranger tower here. At least 2. I think is going to be essential. Now we have to take down these spider matriarchs. We don't want to get swarmed. This is where something like overcharge pretty much just prevents any possibility of us getting overwhelmed in that way. But we saved the gold, and we're going to have a second Tesla. In just a second here. And this was a new enemy for us, the Noxious Creeper. And I think we can bring Oni up here to try and take her down. You know, in a matter of fact, we can just go ahead and drop some fire. I don't think we'll need it in the foreseeable future. And let's get our second Tesla tower up and running. So this is excellent air protection as well as kind of a ground swarm protection. That does a lot of damage. So yeah, I think the main tweak to the build, as I mentioned, is just we're just not going to go ahead and get paladins and things like that. We're just going to mass artillery and anything that does just a lot of AoE. Because I think had we been able to more effectively clear out the AoE in our last attempt, we would have been able to focus down the boss much better. So Oni's up to his medium armor, good HP, and I think he gets up to high armor. I'm having trouble remembering now. Some well-placed reinforcements can do a ton of damage with their spears. Oni's gonna die, it's no big deal. We're gonna drop some fire and call early. He's doing fine. He's almost level 7 now. And we're going to place our reinforcements far enough back that they're not going to take a ton of damage from the explosions when these demons die. It's very important. And we need overcharge somewhat soon. Might just end up being the level of the Teslas. We don't want him to die again, so let's pull him back. Let him heal. And there we go, let's get him back in the fight. And I think it's safe to call early here. And there we go. We're just one step away from our first arcane tower. Gotta remember these demon imps have a lot more HP at 350. Still no resistances. But I think we're going to value the teleport above the death ray if we're going to end up with enough cash to upgrade them. I think that's what we're going to be looking at. And now we can try and get a ranger's hideout. And I'm looking at putting down 2 more Teslas in these positions here. Let's call early, make sure we're getting that gold. But the main idea here is just to get a all the way ranked up Wrath of the Forest in this position, as well as in this position. These Tesla towers don't do a lot of damage to these treants because of their high, very high armor. And they have a lot of HP as well. So we want to make sure we have the magic damage that we need to take them down. So level 7 now on Oni. Not sure at what point he gets that high armor we've been talking about. Hopefully that's soon. And we certainly want to call early. Get this ranked up as soon as possible. We might make another ranger tower here. Really don't like how these treants are summoned back in this position. And we're going to drop some fire here at the crossroads. Just kind of spawning from the ground here. And it might be at this point that we need to make sure we do have our overcharges. So that's going to be a lot of passive damage that we can't really afford to miss out on. We're going to want all of our Teslas to be fully upgraded by the time this is over, because we're going to need as much of the AoE damage as we can get. That's where a ton of our funds are going right now. And I think we can sell this and perhaps make an adept tower here, get another arcane tower, and eventually get that to the point where it has teleport. Anyone who makes it too far back could get teleported back into this kill box. I think that's not a bad strategy. So this is definitely the damage zone here. So now we have the big guys coming. And we certainly want to make sure we have the damage to kill them as well. And I'm debating right now placing a Dwarven Bombard in this position or a Mage Tower, and I think we're going to go with the Bombard. And perhaps even look to try out Big Bertha in that position. That could be solid. And I think we have so much AoE, we don't really need to be concerned about calling air early. So Oni finally reaches level 8. And we have a ton of gold. So let's go ahead and spend it. And like I said, another Ranger's hideout here. We've almost got enough. There we go. So some more Wrath of the Forest in this position. Call early. These big guys, I mean, they have 3,000 HP, and I think they do regenerate quite heavily. Yeah, they do. Kind of watch them battle with the numbers there. So the initial cost of teleport is 300, but afterwards it's much, much cheaper. It's just that kind of initial big cost. Let's drop some fire. We don't want to get overwhelmed. Ooh, almost hit that sell button. I think I've done that in a past video. Did not feel good. Still, we need that AoE clear. It's a close one. Okay. I think we just need to go ahead and get another Tesla at this point. And we could place another archer tower perhaps in this position. I think that'll be fine. And we do want to get to the tier 3 Wrath of the Forest for sure before the boss comes. So we're already on wave 16. I think this is looking good, but we do want to make sure that we have some mage towers in this position. As soon as he comes out, we want to be nuking him. We're going to sick Oni on him. We're going to drop our fire, and he's just going to take a ton of damage. That's kind of the hope. Getting a little nervous that we won't have enough gold to kind of do the plan that I'm hoping to implement here. Drop some fire on the swamp things. They do a ton of damage. So there we go. We kill those guys and we get a lot of gold. And I think it's safe to call early. Get those kills. Oni's almost rank 9. And there we go. So this is nice at the very least that we have that heavy DPS right at the end. Let's seek to get our second Ranger tower here. A little scary. We don't want these demon lords making everybody invulnerable. That's a pain in the butt. Let's sick Oni on him. And Oni still has only medium armor. Sure, we get Wrath of the Forest there. Do we want another Wrath of the Forest? Could be. It's very efficient at killing these demons who do have magic resistance. So there we go, we've nearly upgraded all of them to kind of their tier 3. And at some point we're going to want to upgrade these fully as well. Go ahead and call early. Let's at least put 1 point in each of them. Because I'm as worried about leaking to all of the treants on the final wave as I am worried about leaking to the actual boss himself. So let's make sure we have the AoE necessary to clear these guys. Because they're just going to spawn like this over and over and over again. And we need to make sure that we can hit as many targets as possible. And I think we're going to want even more magic damage as she comes and rounds this bend. And I think we're going to get a Sorcerer Mage and get ourselves an Elemental. If Oni goes down, we're going to be happy to have an Elemental there to block him up. Oni is almost level 10, which is cool. I think we can summon the next wave early. So here we go. We've got one big beefy boy back there is going to be helping us. So we did call them early. And I think we kind of do the same thing down here. We can get ourselves some elementals to help us block up this path. Really want Oni to hit 10 before the boss comes.
Back to the shadows of hell.
Get in the fight, Oni. So we're doing fine. We have a lot of gold. These outside positions are just not good for much. Let's just get ourselves some paladins there. I think that's fine. And with this much gold, man. So he only ever gets up to medium armor. That's rough. I misremembered that. So there we go, and we even get ourselves a nice elemental. We unlock another achievement, Clustered. No doubt has something to do with Big Bertha. And here we go. The final boss will be coming soon. Oh. Just hope we have enough AoE to take him down. We'll get a teleport back there. And let's get Oni up here. Hold these guys back. If we clear them quickly enough, we can make sure that we do have Oni directly onto the boss when we drop some fire on him. So there we go. So get in there, Oni, and let's see if we can put some damage on him. Yeah, without that armor, Oni's not really going to stand much of a chance. We're going to need to let him regen. And let's get teleport back here. And let's bring him back. Come on, Oni. $7,500. And I think now we need to bring them back. And now we bring them back in. We want them on Oni. there we go. Let's drop some more fire. Help clear up all the chaff. Was hoping for some better placements here on the battlefield, but this looks fine. And Big Bertha seems to also be doing quite well for us. And while I'm talking, of course, Oni goes down. Unfortunate. But we can also upgrade. Get an Avada Kedavra there. One of these big Swamp Thing dudes wants to get back. And down goes the boss. So I think we've done it this time. Just a bit of a few tweaks to allow us to clear out more of these chaff units and isolate the boss. And I think that was all we needed to clean this map up. And we'll upgrade teleport. Just keep bringing all of these guys back, making them walk over and over again into this kind of DPS pit here. And we got it. That feels really good. And I think today is going to be a bit of a short episode. I'm on a bit of a timer. I am married, have kids, so sometimes you got to go out and do family stuff in between playing some sweet games. So we got the achievement, Lumberjack. All right. So 3 stars. And that's one of my favorite aspects of this game is that, you know, I tried it once. I didn't quite get it, but I got very, very close. And I was able to sit down and kind of passively think about how I could do a better build and what I needed to fix it. And that's the strategic part of this game that I most enjoy. Is that the strategy doesn't just end when you, even sometimes when you beat it, you sit down and you think about later, you know, how I could have done that map better. And that's what's kind of kept my attention for all these years playing all 3 of the games. But now the only map we have left is Pandemonium. And I think we're going to do that in a video perhaps tomorrow. I'm going to knock that one out. I did this one in my free time the other day. I was having some trouble on camera, if you guys remember. But I did it in my free time the other day. And I'm going to tell you, I killed the boss. I killed him. And then I ended up leaking to those demon guys that duplicate themselves like infinitely. So once again, it was just another issue where I didn't have quite enough wave clear to finish the map. But I think I've narrowed in on a pretty decent strategy, and I'm going to look to implement that for you guys on camera. So without any further ado, guys, once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Good Talk Gaming. I hope you've enjoyed all of these tower defense videos that I've been putting up, because as fun as these are, I cannot wait to get into Kingdom Rush Frontiers and kind of enjoy those newer RPG elements as we look to like build out our heroes. And there's some really cool like pirate themed maps and all these different jungle and desert maps. So we're going to get a whole different aesthetic and a whole new set of enemies and some of my favorite towers in any tower defense game, much less the Kingdom Rush series. So really looking forward to that, guys. So if you're still with me, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.